Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text tied to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the narrative lectionary, and we are looking at the second Sunday in the series of stewardship. Sunday's stewardship series, and I say that 7 times fast. So we're looking at the reading out of Mark and the idea that when the man comes to Jesus and says, "What must I do to gain eternal life?" He says, "Give away your possessions, give it away to the poor, give it away." And the man had a lot of stuff, and he walked away, and he was grieved in his heart, and that was what he would have to do. And when we're looking at stewardship and we're looking at what we've been entrusted with, what we've been given, I say given, but we've been lent. We've been given the opportunity to do stuff. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that we could get into there, but the idea that what we have isn't really ours. It's all belongs to God. So the item I'm going to be using, and this is not something, they used to have it at the Dollar Tree, and you might be able to find it at like a $5 store, but you got one around your house so you won't have to buy it, and that is a remote control. It's a remote control. And you can use the wonderful line that when you can say, you know what, I bought this remote control. It says that it's a universal remote control. That means, you know what? This changes everything. You could pull it into the ELCA youth gathering. This changes everything. The idea that remote control changes the channel. And, something that changes something. It could be if you have a remote control that works a fan, or if you have a remote control that controls your, if you have a projector and you have a remote control that you can fast forward the pictures on the projector in worship, you could take control of that for just a little bit and flip through the things back and forth. Different things to show that here's something that you can control. You can change things. You can control the TV. You get the point about that. Our heart is grieved, and this man has he's got a lot of stuff that he's asked to give away, and he has a hard time changing his heart, changing his mind. And God calls us to come to a place where we change our heart and we change our mind. But more than that, it's where we say, God, I need help. I need help with this. I need help figuring out how to change my mind, how to change my heart. Please guide me. Please help me. And that when we are giving, when we are acting as generous people of God, the first time, the second time, the third time, when we do that, it can be difficult. But the joy that comes from that when our minds are changed and our hearts are changed, and the joy that comes from giving is, I've heard it said, and I believe it, that the need to give is more about the giver than the receiver. It's the need for the giver to give. That as we give, that act changes our heart. That act changes our mind. That it's the idea of doing, and then it changes the mind, rather than changing the mind, act of doing. Lots of, there's so much stuff there you're not going to work that into your children's sermon. It's the backbone of it. But that remote control about changing our hearts, and God says, come to me and let me help you. Let me help you change. And that is our whole thing. We can't do it by ourselves. We need God's help. It's why we have God's grace. It's why we have God's love. So I hope that can be a springboard for your own thinking as you're looking at doing this children's sermon around the grieving heart. So thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic week.